Hey guys, it's Gives back again with another video. Continuing the series of me playing 10-minute games and giving my commentary over it. We're playing against Mike Kaliski, and I think it's from the Philippines. Yeah, let's go. Another country correct. And we're going into the Rubinstein. Let's see how my opponent deals with the Rubinstein. Now, whenever I tell more experienced players that I play the Rubinstein, they kind of scoff at me. They say, "Really, you play the Rubinstein?" Because it doesn't give black too many chances. I guess it's a bit harder for black to play because it's much more passive for black. White's pieces that are already in the center, but it's okay. We can for sure try it out. I feel like at my level, it doesn't really matter. So Rubinstein is what we're going to roll with. He goes ahead and trades off the bishop pair. Interesting. Yeah, that is for sure something interesting. I did not expect that. But yeah, we're still here. And we're actually just threatening to take this knight right now, but I have a feeling that that's not going to happen. He's probably going to protect it, do something special with it. So I'm not too worried. Oh, and he just trades it away. That's fine. I feel like he is kind of losing the advantage of me playing the Rubinstein because he gave away the bishop pair and everything. Now we could take with the queen, but as you guys have seen from many previous videos, that sometimes the engine does prefer taking with the G pawn, which doubles up pawns, but it also opens up this file. But I think again I'm gonna what should I do? What should I do? I think I'm going to go ahead and take with the queen. I don't feel too bad. I wonder what would happen if my opponent gave me a check with this bishop right here. I have to think about how to deal with it. Because I don't really want to just play king e7. Okay, but my friend lets me out with this one. Lets me get off pretty easy with this move. Let's see. So we could go ahead and play bishop d7, trying to get onto this file over here. Or it's not file, diagonal. But my opponent does have simply bishop e4. And now I'm actually kind of wishing that I had f5 to play. Maybe this is why. But yeah, if we play something like this and he goes ahead with bishop e4, it's a bit harder for me to know what I want to do. Because we're about to drop this pawn. We can't just move it away because we're going to lose this rook. So what would we do? I don't know. I'm sort of struggling. Another idea could just be playing this move. It feels so weird though, putting this queen all the way up here, but it stops this piece from coming in. And I guess it can set up this diagonal over here, but after something like he just pushes me away here, maybe we just play onto this square. I don't know, but queen f4 is looking interesting. Thinking of ways to get this bishop into the game as well. Certainly interesting. If I play something like b6, we are risking checks from both sides. So maybe we want to get castled first. And yeah, I'll go ahead and play this because we don't want his knight to come into the center either. So this should be okay. Yeah, let's try this out. But castles. Okay, if he also castles, I think maybe I should also castle because I feel like this check is a little annoying. I also want to get something played like this. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and castle. I don't think I should need to worry too much about this diagonal. Maybe it's like he gets a queen like over here. Because I think g6 should be able to deal with all of this. We don't have any threats of like sacking here because my queen is already here as well, and he doesn't have any dark square bishop to really try to attack this pawn and maybe make use of some uh, some light square or dark square weaknesses. But my opponent actually goes ahead and plays that queen e2 move. Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, thinking about what to do, we could play just so actually here, if we do play something like this move, it's a bit risky. But after something like this, he's threatening your mate and attacking this pawn at the same time. So if we play something like bishop d7, he pushes here. We play g6. If he takes here, it's an interesting position. But I can go like rook here, and he's going to back up. And I can't take this pawn because of this. He would just take my rook. So going back, so let's say bishop d7, he puts his queen in the center. We play g6 to stop mate. He takes over here. We play rook b8 with this rook. We're dropping this pawn over here, so he can take, but then we take this pawn. And it's still a little confusing. So I'm not sure. But maybe if we just play rook b8 right now, it should be safe. After something like this, we play g6. We want to play b7 or b6 and then get our bishop here. I think that's something we might go for. But yeah, so I'm welcoming this move into the game. Go ahead. But this is going to be interesting for sure. What if he puts a knight into center first? Yeah, it would be for sure an interesting idea. And if we try to play something like b6, what would give him this amazing square for his knight? I don't know if we should do that. Attacking both this rook and this pawn, so we'd have to play like rook here. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, this is cool. This is a cool move. Okay, so c4 feels like pushing for c5, right? Now actually, that almost traps the piece. But here maybe we play our own c5. That's what I'm thinking. If we play something like b6, and he still pushes. Oh, take. Yeah, that would be good for us. Another thing could be that he wants to play in the center. I don't know. I feel like c5 needs to be played, though. We're playing the French, so we gotta play c5, right? So I think I'll go ahead, bend a knee, let c5 enter this game. So I'll go ahead and play c5. There is some sort of pin. Okay. He brings a rook in. Cool. So if we do take here, and he takes with the knight, not exactly a free pawn, because if we do take, he has bishop here check, we move our king, or we take his bishop, we lose a rook. So maybe not. But if we play this move and he just plays this, maybe we take, he takes the pawn. It's a bit annoying, for sure. Or maybe if you play something like this, we put our bishop over here. And if he does take, we take with this pawn. We're attacking this in the future. So we're not really losing. We're not really going to be doubling our pawns because there's going to be captures soon. So I think we might play here. But if he does play here, I take. Pawn takes. It's a bit annoying, but we do open up this file. So I'm going to go ahead and try it out. But it's for sure a bit confusing. It's a complicated position. That's for sure. If he does go over here, though, and we take... I wonder what he would do. Okay, he goes ahead. I'm not even sure what this move is. a6. a6, yeah, that's interesting. I think I'm going to go ahead and play this move over here. But then he has push. If we play this move, we might be threatening some idea. I think I'm going to go ahead and play king h8, just so there are no troubles with this move. There's a chance that this is going to get me in the future. So I'm just going to go ahead and fix that up right here and right now. Now we do have the chance of taking this pawn. He goes ahead and puts his bishop in the center. Good for him. If we put our bishop in the center, and he takes, I take, he takes, I take, we are threatening this pawn. So I do feel okay with this. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and contest this. If he pushes this pawn, it's a bit more complex, isn't it? He takes, if he takes with this pawn, yeah, it gets a bit iffy. But I guess we just retreat and maybe go on this side. But if he does take with the pawn, then he blocks up this own rook. Okay, he doesn't. He's going to go ahead and take here. I'll take back with my pawn, and I don't feel too bad about this. Don't feel too bad at all, because after takes and takes, we are threatening something on this side of the board. And maybe we will just try to double our rooks and play on this side. So certainly there are some ideas. But yeah, it's a tough game. Interesting. He puts his knight in the center of the board. If we do take, he's going to take with this pawn, maybe. But right now we're hanging this piece. If we take here, he takes. Oh, he can't take there. If we take here, he takes this pawn. What if we push D3 and then take over here? I don't know. It feels interesting. Oh. I missed this move completely. Unfortunately. We don't have this because he just pushes this piece and gets out. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep, that's bad. That's bad. We could play this as well, but he just has this move. He has ways to stop mate. If we give him a check, though, he takes. I give him a check. He backs up, but we're still losing a rook, which is so annoying. Oh, this is bad. Yeah. I don't want to drop this pawn either, though. Don't want to lose everything. So maybe we just play this move. I'm going to try it out, but he's going to push this pawn. It gets confusing for sure. I'll put this piece over here. He goes ahead and takes. I think I'll just take back. Makes sense. And if he goes here, he might be putting our piece in some bad trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bishop here to stop that. And maybe we can go here and then play off this, but it's going to be so tough. It's going to be so tough. I think we actually might just be losing. I don't even know what we can do. I'm going to try to open a file, but I don't even see any ideas to like mate, so yeah, I'm unfortunately not sure at all how we can salvage this position. Might be a loss, but let's keep our head up and hope that we can find something, right? He's not going to let us even open up that that file, which is annoying. I will take, though. I'm going to go here. And I wonder if there's any idea with like coming in through here. You know, that would be amazing, but I don't know, because after something like this, He gives me a check. I go here. He gives me another check. Where do I go? But I feel like this is the only choice I have. So I will try it out. Yep. If we play here, we're going to get mated soon. We are about to get mated with check. We go here. He has many ways to mate. That's unfortunate. It was a good game, though. Yep, and next move can be this, regardless of where I move. But he's going to find a mate in 2 instead. Cool. Good game, my opponent, but apparently we had many mistakes in our position. We had, I think, 7 mistakes and then 2 blunders. So let's go ahead and figure out where we went wrong. And I think there were quite a few places where we went wrong. But going into this is all book. He takes. I go ahead and take with the queen. Again, it wants G takes F6. Ah! I don't know why. But you know what? I think maybe the one thing I do see is that like after something like this, we can push onto F5, stopping any bishop from coming in here. So we should be able to have full control of this diagonal. So maybe that's it. Maybe I'll start taking with this pawn next time, because I did have some problem with like really getting my bishop onto that square. Oh, also apparently, so I was talking about this this file and this bishop h7 idea over here. Instead of playing this, you could have just taken here. If we do take back, he has this check. We take. He has this, and his rook is really active now. It's still really not like completely sure. I guess it's not like a game-winning thing, right? I mean, he has a rook, but the material is still all even. But after something like queen f5, he does have this rook fd1, and all of a sudden he has full control of this open file. So for sure, an interesting position for him. But he didn't play that, and actually, so instead of this, I should have just taken. So after his knight takes, now can I play bishop here? Bishop d7 is up there, sort of. So bishop d7 is playable now, because he can't get rid of both of these pieces at the same time to get activity. He can play knight b5, which is interesting. Yeah, this is an interesting move. Just take the piece. I was thinking, like, is there any idea of, like, check, I take, he takes for activity, but none should be up a piece. So he would have to take back, and we could play bishop c5, bishop e5, lots of different ways, or just contest the open file alongside him. So I don't know. I feel, yeah, this would be slightly better for me, but not sure. But we missed that. So we should have taken, and then we played king h8 was a miss. But I feel like this is not too bad. But same idea of like this, and then maybe we can play something like this and contest all this stuff over here. But he does this, and bishop takes c6 is a blunder. It's a blunder. So he was supposed to take here, and I feel like I'll just take back. But bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and then b4, and then after he plays something like c5, this is completely locked up, and my position is not good at all. Whoops, we should not do that. Dropping a full bishop would not be great. That's something that I did not notice at all. Opponent did not see this either. But yeah, so taking here and not have to take back, and then pushing b4 with tempo lets him put these 3 pawns on the perfect squares for him. So that's something that would have been bad for me. But he did take here. And this, why doesn't the same thing work here? Does the same thing doesn't work here because we have this open file now. We can take rook takes b2 as an inter move. So he does have the double pawns, and might be slightly better for us, but he has queen e3. And Engine says it's okay. We have to put this bishop on a better square, so I don't know where it would go. Bishop f4 is also interesting, but still our bishop is not very active. Wow, that's interesting. But he played knight here, and apparently I should have just taken. That would have been the best way to get rid of this threat, of course. Or rook b7, I guess, also gets rid of the threat, but we do drop this, but we should have just taken. And if he takes the bishop, this pawn, apparently it's still even enough. And the only, I don't know why, but I guess we don't have any minor pieces on the board anymore after something like this. So how exactly would you go? How exactly would White go about getting these pawns? Not sure. Queen f5 is a move, but after something like this, it will be dropping this pawn. So this pawn is able to kind of stop his b pawn from coming up, which means that this is sort of an isolated pawn too, in a way. Interesting. But yeah, he has rook d6, but then we have rook b6. So we do end up being a bit more so you don't want to go rook c8, right? Because that means that you're just being passive and you're going to lose the game soon enough. But and you're also getting rid of your aggressive thing. But if you go rook b6, then you can kind of keep being active at the same time. Maybe tower here, or connect your double your rooks, and then play for this thing over here. That's interesting. So even though we do have really bad pawn structure, it's actually dead even because of the rooks. Now, if something like queen f5, rook d7 makes sense as well. Rook b3 is still favored. This is weird. If we play something like this is probably maybe bad. I don't know. It's so tough to evaluate this. Actually, it does like a5, so I'm guessing a6 should also be playable. But it does like rook b3 the most, doubling of this rooks and not letting him actually play here. And once we play rook b like up here, he can take these pawns, but I'm going to play this, and then we're going to win this pawn, and his pawn structure is also going to be sort of decimated. This is interesting. King g8 is also up there, which is really weird. But this is going to give him a few free pawns, and it's still really complicated, like this entire position. If you play something like this, rook b3 is still apparently the best move. Rook d1 trying to double rooks on the 7th. We play over here, doubling rooks over here. And apparently if he goes like rook here, what would we do? We take this and we have tempo. Or yeah, we're going to be winning very hard actually. So that would be great for us, but he wouldn't do that, I don't think. This is interesting. So you should be able to, and even though we waste like a full tempo with king g8, it's still, we still have a lot of chances, which is really interesting. But White doesn't actually have a way to kind of exploit this stuff, and that's really because he doesn't have a minor piece anymore. After something like knight d7, we play queen h4, but it starts to just all get messy, and it's hard to actually find anything even. But we play here, and yeah, he's just completely winning. After something like this, maybe we should have moved king g8. That's what I was thinking after this, because he does have this, so maybe king g8, and it kind of kicks him out just a little bit. So we can try to continue with this plan, but you guys know that this is very just lost. So maybe here to not play something like this. We can't take this rook really, because then he just has this check and then he's just gonna be winning straight up. So maybe I'd try to push this, but he has this takes over here. Interesting. Rook h5, and then what? Queen a8 check. And he has all these checks and everything, so we are going to lose. Cool. Oh, he also just had takes over here, which is a much better move than whatever this was. Leaving him this kind of the same options. But yeah, you guys see where it's going now, and we're just down a full rook. If we take back, he has like a lot of things. Oh, and he has this move next, winning the rook. So he still will be up. And he's got this pass pawn, so he would just be completely winning. Going back to the beginning. Whoops. Going back to the beginning. Let's see. What were our biggest mistakes? I'm going to call this a mistake now. This is interesting because I feel like I was worrying so much about getting this bishop onto the diagonal, and all of this could have been stopped by taking here and then playing something like f5 or yeah, f5. Yeah. Now it says g takes f6 is worse, but I don't know. Our queen seems to be okay on something like e6 or sorry d6. And if our opponent castles on this side, then we just have open files and everything, so we should be better in this regard, I guess. But yeah, this is a very tough game. Very interesting idea. But yeah, we struggle with getting our. Oh, also rook b8 was an inaccuracy. I'm not sure what it was thinking after something like this, and if he plays like this, I don't know. I guess yeah, but our bishop is like just on a really bad spot. If we had taken on this side, we wouldn't be castled here, but we'd maybe be castled queenside, or maybe not castled at all and just be chilling in the center. But this bishop would not be a threat at all. So I think from now on I will be taking on with the g pawn. Feels I'm seeing merits from both sides, right? I mean, this queen is nice too, but it's hard to get this bishop into the game because he always has something like bishop e4, stopping us from putting our bishop there. But yeah, I think other than that, it was after that it was kind of just like a big blunder. Like this was a blunder. Like I mean, we saw this, but we should have known that like this is opening stuff up. It's really easy to open stuff up. There's a lot of tension still in the center of the board. King h8 is a miss, but yeah, it's all very interesting. And we should have just taken the knight here. I didn't realize how threatening it was. I only saw this takes over here. I didn't see the fork at all, so completely missed that. But yeah, other than that, I think this was a very interesting game. And oh, apparently it's the classical burn variation. It wasn't actually a Rubinstein. Yeah, over here till here it's a Rubinstein. Playing bishop g5 actually completely transposes this. I didn't realize this, but I think I'm gonna still call this a Rubinstein in the video. Yeah, I think other than that, that should be it for this video. So I'll go ahead and upload this. Yep, bye bye.